everybody, and welcome to a video where I discuss a board game or dice game that I've been working on for a while called Dice Kingdom. We'll jump right into it. So, you can see the box, just purple with a black corner, and Dice Kingdom, a game of strategic mayhem on the front. And something we actually took a while to make, a little crown for Dice Kingdom. And you open up the box and you have two trays for rolling your dice in and some other stuff that we'll get into. But first I'd like to tell you the basic rules. How the game works is you start with one of these villager dice, and both players roll their dice at the same time, and whoever gets the higher roll wins. And the winner gets 1 gold coin. The first to 10 gold coins wins. Now, you can spend your gold coins to buy better dice, like the knight dice, the jester dice, the healer dice, the ruby dice, the iron dice, the wizard dice, and the catapult dice. I think that's all of them. Yeah, I just named them all. And the different dice cost different amounts of gold coins depending on how good they are. And each dice has a different ability. You can only use the abilities once per turn. And in the case of a tie, you both get a coin. And if you have less dice than your opponent at that time, they don't get to use any of their special powers. Now I'll tell you all the different special powers for all the different dice. The villager dice that you start with has no special power whatsoever. It's just a basic villager in this castle. The knight dice lets you re-roll one of your opponent dice. So say I have a knight dice, he has a villager dice, and I roll a 1 and he rolls a 6, then I can be like, oh, knight dice, and re-roll his, and I would still lose because I get a 1, but that's what the knight dice does. Then you have the jester dice, which in that same scenario could be useful. It lets you re-roll yourself. I know it's a little bit hard to see on camera, but that's a 4. And 4, so they got a tie. Next is the healer dice, which is personally my favorite. If any of your dice get hit by an opponent ability, you get to add 1 to that dice score. So, like, if this side has this, and this side has this, the jester and the healer and the knight and this guy, the knight can be like, oh, I'll re-roll this 4 to try and get it lower. And then he got a 3. But the healer makes it go back to a 4. Because it adds 1. After the healer, we have the iron dice. If you roll a 6, 7, or 8 on this 8-sided dice, all of your dice are invincible to other dice abilities, so they can't be knighted, they can't be wizarded, they can't be hit by the catapult, they can't be changed, they're done. Next is the wizard dice. Whatever you roll on the wizard dice, see I rolled a 6, you can subtract from enemy dice. So I rolled a 6, I get to minus 6 to their dice. Next is the catapult dice. If you roll a pair, so like you roll 2 7s or 2 6s or something like that, you get to get rid of an opponent dice for the rest of the round. It cannot use its ability. You don't count the number on the dice. It's just gone, but it comes back at the end of the round. And finally, we have the ruby. If the ruby dice, whatever it rolls, is lower than an opponent dice, so like I have the ruby, he has the knight, I can shine the ruby or turn it left or right. So like in this scenario, I would turn it to a 7, and then I would win. Well, of course, the wizard would use its 6 thing to put me back to a 1, but that doesn't really matter right now. I'm just explaining the dice. And that's all the dice in this game. Next, getting into the more advanced details of the game, you can spend a coin, you can put back your strongest dice over here in the dungeon, and then, like, say you have 1 more dice than them, but so that you can't use your abilities, but you want to be able to use your abilities, you can put away one of your dice so that you can. But then it takes 1 gold coin to bring it back out, and you have to put away your biggest dice. Any other rules that I'm forgetting? I think that's it. Oh, also, we have 2 instruction booklets, and we have these instruction reminder things so that you can see roughly what everything does, how much it costs, power rankings. Yeah. Just a reminder. If you guys enjoyed this video of my new game, please hit the like button and see you next time.